this is part of the new process that we're using, which is talking over video clips and talking over PowerPoints that we like I did last week. I hope that you're finding it okay. Now, this particular session is a pretty quick one with a few simple questions in a bit later on, and then a bit of a quiz type activity for you to do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the fact is that there are two major weather system types that come to the British Isles. The first one is a depression, and the second one is an anticyclone. Now, what you need to do is to be able to click on with me and just watch what we're doing and understand that the key difference between them is that an anticyclone is a high pressure system and a low pressure system is a depression. Now, at the end of this, I want you to have a look at that YouTube clip. Now, I'm not going to talk it through, but it's going to give you further help and advice. So I'm now going to go on to the third slide. The third slide uses the schemata. So these are ones that you can draw and practice for yourself with simple diagrams. Now, as simple diagrams, they just need to show that you understand that a low pressure system is one where the air is rising, and that a high pressure system is one where the air is sinking. Now, you'll notice that they're done in red and blue. The reason they're done in red and blue is to do with the temperature of the actual air. So a high pressure system is to generally gives Britain settled weather like we had in March and April into the beginning of May, when it was really very warm and almost the same every single day. The low pressure system is what we've had for the last couple of weeks, where in any one day it's going to be nice, and then it's going to be really unpleasant. The wind is going to be stronger, and you're going to get rain. So this next slide is asking you, what does an anticyclone actually look like? Okay, so look at the bottom right hand corner and you can see the actual satellite image for an anticyclone high pressure system. And then when you look on the left hand side, you look at the weather map, you see an H in the middle. And you see a set of numbers and it says 1037. So at the 1037 is a high figure, a high number. Right, so a high number of what? Millibars of pressure. Okay, now if you look here, you can actually see that these ISO lines are actually quite separated. There's quite a distance between them, and there's not much. The numbers aren't very, very low. They're very, very high, and it is centered on the British Isles. In fact, it's centered on Preston. Okay, now that is a one that I've been able to get a Met Office picture for, and then get the satellite image to go with it. If you have a look down those conditions, you'll see that there's information about the summer and there's information about the winter. Now, have a look. I've got some questions there. All I want you to do is to save your answers underneath the title of Depressions and Anticyclones. So what does a depression look like? Well, it's almost the opposite, isn't it? Where the isobars are very, very close together. The number in the middle is lowest. Okay, now you're going to look at those lines and say, okay, what do they mean? Well, you've got to try and work out if it's a cold front or a warm front. Okay, now the front is the actual airline moving towards a particular direction or away from it and bringing in particular information. Notice what this system is called. This map is called a synoptic chart. Okay, so from now on you need to be able to think of it as a synoptic chart. Okay, now again, moving further down the actual PowerPoint presentation, I've got some questions for you on low pressure system. So do those, and then now what I want you to do is have a little go at this competition. You'll notice that there are different colours, at different points, and what you've got to do is answer those and then check the meanings yourself. Okay. Now, a score out of 26 means if you've got a score of around 20, 21, you've done very well. Okay, you remembered most of the things that have come up in this lesson. If you haven't and you've got not quite sure what these lines mean, you've got to go away and do just a little bit of research. It's not difficult, and find out what they mean. There is a plenary right at the end now. Okay, and all I want you to do, and really simply, is write down for the 3 things under each column that you've learned for each of those. So the summer conditions in an anticyclone, the winter in the depression, and what the information can a weather chart actually tell us, a synoptic chart. Okay, right. In this piece of work, there's nothing for you to send to me. All I'm asking for you to do is to be able to know the difference between an anticyclone and a depression. Again, any questions, ask me. Do use the YouTube link because it'll work really well for you. So good luck, and then you'll see the second piece of work, which is also another talk over PowerPoint. Well done today.